I love this song. Friday, Friday, Friday. At least where I am. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, everybody. See anything in the news or anything that's interesting
Hey,
today?
MoOse. No, I looked earlier. I didn't see anything. In case something has happened since. I did have a tweet and maybe something from the AI if we don't get anything else.
Sure.
It seemed like there was some stuff on my mind, like recent drama, but I can't remember it right now, so it must not have been that important.
That's what I feel about all the recent drama stuff. It's like it only seems important like when it's right in front of you. Yeah, restream to your channel, Moose. Go ahead. Come on, go ahead and come on and restream.
What am I looking for? Oh, a news
Oh,
update. Something about
yeah.
Trump, the defamation trial. He stormed out of the courtroom, which to me, if that's the top headline, that's just them trying to be sensational. Oh, no. Yeah, sure, Moose. You can stream it wherever you want. What is your channel? I don't even know if I subscribe.
I subscribed
In
to it
fact,
the other day, I think. But I think I did. But if not, but please, but just please post it in the private chat there, and we'll repost it in the main.
what's up?
I'm checking the news too to see if there's anything. Not really. There's something about in California, a bunch of homeless people are found living in furnished caves 20 feet below the street level.
Living in caves?
Yeah, already back in
That
caveman
sounds
times.
cool.
We didn't even know it.
I want to go live
I
in a
wonder
cave.
I wonder if they're conking their women on the head and dragging them there.
Are there men?
I didn't read the article. I'm just going with the headlines here. The authorities said that the area around Tulameen River in Modesto, California, has been plagued by vagrants in illegal camps. Homeless people were found and living in caves along the Tulameen River, but they're cleared out by the Modesto Police Department. Volunteers for Operation 9299 and the Tulameen River Trust were completely cleared them out, removing some 7,600 pounds of garbage from the area. And let's see, they filled two truckloads of debris and a trailer. It doesn't really sound that bad compared to a lot of the homeless encampment stuff. So, caves are about 20 feet below street level, and some were fully furnished, indicating that vagrants have been living there for some time. Items found include bedding, belongings, food items. Like, why just let them live there? They're in caves. You're living in caves. I mean,
I
come
would
on.
love to live in a cave.
They're not on the street. They're not bothering anybody. Like, why can't they live in the cave?
As long as they're clean. I was looking, they keep it clean.
They had a furnished home in there. I mean that's not. I don't know. I feel bad for those people. I mean, like they went through quite a lot to like set up a cave for themselves to live in. You know, like I mean, is it just like it's almost like jealousy that like that they get to live in a furnished place and other homeless people don't get to or something? It's like equality. Is this equity in action?
Moose, if you put it in the private chat, I can paste it in the main chat for you. It's not showing up.
Well, I do see something here. What's this? It doesn't usually show up for me whenever someone tries to post a link. This is linked to our show, so I don't know what this is, but tomorrow was definitely yesterday was more than our most popular stream ever, by the way.
Well, hopefully we can keep them going like that.
Yeah, within it, we went up to 175 subscribers. So I know we had like at least you said you saw it go up to 51 at some or 50 or 51 at some point. live viewers, and we've had more views on that stream than we've had on any other. And it was just funny, just like a Thursday afternoon stream, like would have become like that would be that popular for us. But before prior to that, it was the New Year's Day thing. It's where we streamed for like or you streamed for like the entire day. Hi, Jeff. Jeff hates pigs. Okay, Jeff hates
Jeff
pigs.
hates pigs. Another Jeff.
And writes
Writes forgets.
Oh, these are from MoOse's channel, I guess. These must be
Oh yeah, I see. Well, hello, new audience.
Hello, new people. Hi, Robert too, as well. Robert, and have you come on the show yet, Robert? Because I still don't I still do not.
Bye, Snafu. Don't. I don't have the patience these other channels you go and have, so don't start anything that gives me a reason to kick you or ban you.
It's true. He's just waiting for you to give him a reason.
That was probably my fault because when I restream, Snafu always comes around.
Oh. You're bringing your trolls with you.
But he doesn't troll me. He doesn't treat me like crap. He actually acts civilized on my panels.
Okay. Well, hey, if you're civilized here, we don't care.
It's coming from his it's from his channel. That's what's happening.
If you're civilized here, you're welcome. Like we don't not you, Jeff.
All right. Well, I will leave it to MoOse to moderate then. But don't try to come up.
Well, you know me, I'm heavy-handed with the wrench.
Yeah.
Wow. That's remarkable. Yeah. That's some impressive troll control.
Yeah. Oh. MoOse was the third co-streamer. Well, I mean, like our third co-host does switch out a lot. Sometimes it's Liv, sometimes it's Neurojack. It's a
collaborative.
Yeah. The only real constants are me and Jeff. That's pretty much it. So
I'm glad somebody's enjoying that weather. I love seeing the scenery when he comes on, like getting a taste of that climate.
It's nice now, but it's a desert. So like in the morning, it's almost near freezing, and then so I gotta wait till about this time before it gets nice.
Oh.
Yeah, he can see your comments. Writes forgets. He knows. We realize that you guys are from his channel. It's cool. It's totally cool. No, hey, no, you're not
alone. We appreciate.
We're not telling anybody to leave.
We have two channels streaming, so we get the comments for all of them. So sometimes we can't tell which channel.
Yeah, I can't. From. We can't tell where the thing came from. It's still MoOse is still on the show with us. So if you like MoOse, then you'll probably like the stream. It's not going to be any.
Don't hold us against.
He's not. He's not. Yeah, certainly don't hold us against him, right? Because he's not going to be a different person because he's on our stream. So.
No, you guys saw yesterday. I keep it real.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah. Yesterday was like I was just saying. It's that yesterday was our most viewed stream ever. We went up to 175 subscribers, and we're gonna. I don't know. I've been really surprised that we've gone up almost 100 subscribers since the beginning of the year. We went from hovering around 80 to 85 for a long time, and then so they almost doubled that. So it's been pretty cool. I guess we more than doubled it. Actually, we've more than doubled it now. So.
MoOse does have quite a fan base.
People that actually like him.
Well, I understand why I'm a fan of MoOse myself.
I mean, yeah, I do too. But it's rare you see someone specifically like someone that openly.
It's because people can see themselves in me, you know. Like I show my good, I show my bad. Like I give you everything, you know. My
I know.
embarrassing moments, you know, my philosophical moments.
I think that's true of us too. I think if you look back through our streams, you definitely can see some of all of that.
Yeah, I look at you guys like you're not trying to hide who you are.
Oh
You
no, I'm
are who you
horrible at
are, and I love it.
No, yeah. Yeah,
You know,
we're very much we're far too open of anything. We should probably be hiding more.
and Jeff, like when I first met Jeff, like I was kind of an ass. I was like, oh, you Satanist, you like
I don't.
sacrificing babies or something. I was trolling you in the chat, but
Oh,
it
MoOse, I
was
don't even remember that.
I
it
don't
was a
I don't
funny one
either.
though. It was super funny. I came up on panel and I explained myself because I was just testing you to kind of see what you would say back to me, and I don't know. I like testing people to see if they're like, I don't know, just a test, and you pass
Yeah,
the
sometimes
test.
it's good. That's good to do.
So I came around because you didn't treat me any differently when I came up on panel. I said, look, I was just trolling, and you were like, oh, okay, no worries. I wasn't even worried about
yeah,
it.
yeah. See, I didn't even remember it. That's how little of a deal that it was.
You've been on the internet long enough. You've dealt with trolls long enough. You learn not to.
Yeah,
You learn
I've
not to
been.
internalize.
They've been around since the AOL days, and I dealt with them
Yeah.
then.
You learn not to internalize their comments or anything too much. Like, I mean, I can remember a few comments that I've gotten that I thought were particularly hilarious or this that, but I couldn't tell you for the life of me who made them though.
Hey, earlier you were on the Machine Lives, right? And I came in and I said something,
I
right?
was?
Because no, Jeff was,
Oh, Jeff was.
and
I
I
was?
said,
Oh.
yeah, this morning.
Oh
Your
yeah, the
radiated
morning one.
pigs.
Yeah, because
I didn't even
Yes.
remember the
last
morning one.
night it was flow states, but they were all on flow states, and I thought
Yeah.
it was machine live. Like I did, since they were all in one place, it seemed like it was machine stream.
Yo Provo.
Yeah, so I said something in there though. I said,
Provo, you
I
would say
said,
that last night on other people's streams.
I don't
I don't
trust
trust that.
I don't trust people who lie consistently. And someone got on me and they're like, why do you trust people that lie at all? And I was like, man, like you're picking apart. I don't know. I was hoping you guys could kind of pick that apart and kind of help me get a better perspective on what I said.
You have the timestamp for it? I could show it.
I was in the chat. It was like
Oh, in the chat.
it was
Okay.
right after you hopped on. So
Last night. I mean this
no, it
morning.
was this morning. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I was like that kind of thinking, that logical thinking. I guess I don't trust people that lie, but then I also recognize that we all lie at some point in time in our lives.
I don't
You know?
lie.
But I'm sure you've lied
I'm
indirectly,
horrible at
maybe.
like surprise birthdays and stuff where you have to lie and pretend. I'm horrible at that,
terrible.
but I'm really good at board games where you have to lie and pretend.
Hey Mitch, what's up?
Hey,
I always spoil
Hey,
like the presents. If I got a present for somebody and it's really cool, and like it's not supposed to be given for another couple weeks, like I always
Yeah.
like, here, just take it because I'm gonna tell you what it is. What's up, Mitch?
Yeah,
yo,
I'm the exact same way, man. Like if I buy a gift for somebody too far in advance, I will just end up giving it to them. I can't. I'm pretty good at gift giving too. I'm usually pretty good at like identifying like a really good gift for somebody. So like I get excited about it, and I can't like hold it back, you know. Like unless the gift is shitty, I guess maybe then I could. But like, you know, like, welcome, difficult denizen. Yeah, but yeah, I know how you mean. I mean, I mean, there's differently like there's occasionally times, you know, I'm sure I've told an untruth because I didn't because I thought it was true, but you know,
I'm
I
really
typically
bad at it, Reddington. I feel like everybody can tell, so I don't even really try to bother.
Yeah.
I don't lie well at all. I never have. Like as a kid, I could never lie myself out of stuff.
I think
I didn't even
intent is
bother.
what constitutes a lie for me.
You think
They
what
have
does?
ill will. Their
Yeah,
yeah,
intent.
intent.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
So if
Intent,
somebody
yeah.
asks you
Usually it was
if
just
they look good or something,
self-preservation. Do what, Moose?
like if someone asks you, "Oh, do I look good in this dress or something?" and you
I
know
would
you
tell
say,
them.
"Oh, you look good in everything," you
No,
know.
I tell them. They like all my friends come to me because they know I'm the person that's going to really tell them.
Yeah, and you
No,
can
that
ask
dress
my
does
wife.
not look good on you. You need to go put it back and get a different one.
No, you can
No,
ask my
that
wife.
haircut
You
is
can ask
not
my wife if
flattering.
she
Yes, you do look fat.
if
'Cause
she
that's
puts on
intent to
something
deceive.
like yeah, it's just like I mean it's like I don't know. Like, I mean, I'm actually, I'd be more likely to lie in that situation, like a polite lie to someone I have no contact, I don't know at all, than I would be somebody I actually cared about. Like, if it's somebody I actually care about, like, I will be brutally. I'll be tactful about it. I'm not gonna be like mean about it. I mean, like, I'm not gonna tell somebody like, oh, you look like garbage, get out of that. But I mean, at the same time, like, I'm not gonna like, because like, in my mind, like, that's just like okay, like, if my wife is wearing something or someone I know, it doesn't matter who it is, wearing something that's embarrassing looking or something like that, like, don't
You
don't
have
they
to
deserve
tell your true friends will tell you when you're ugly. You have to tell them.
exactly.
You can't let them go and expose themselves to the
Right.
public. Like knowing
Yeah,
what you know and not
exactly.
telling them to me is worse.
It's like it'll be the same thing as if like, somebody's like walking with their fly unzipped, right? You got to tell that person that their fly's
Yeah.
unzipped because like, they want to know that kind of thing. They don't want their
Or
dick
if they have
hanging
a
out or some
booger.
shit. Yeah,
Oh
or something like
yeah.
that.
I'm super
Like, I
honest
mean,
about that shit. But if
wouldn't
it's
you,
someone I
wouldn't,
don't know and they're asking me some stupid questions like how do I look in this? Like I really don't give a shit how you look, but I'm not trying to like I'm not trying my intent is to just be like, all right, you look great and then walk away. Like I'm not trying to be a dick about it, but you know what I mean? So I would say I lie in that situation.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I've actually had people like ask me like, I've been out shopping before, and I've had people like ask, a random person ask me do I look okay? Like, hey, do I look okay? This no, I've told people before, I kind of give them instead of just being like no, that looks like gar. I mean, I'll just be like, maybe try something else, try something like this, and you try to give them some advice type thing. You try to spin it positive. You try to turn it into constructive criticism. You don't want to just like be like like nah, you look like shit. Nah, you're not like ho. Get out of here.
I guess there's ways to be tactful. Some people are better at it than others, like me.
Yeah.
But
I
there's
mean,
probably better approaches or better ways to. I've seen people exercise some impressive diplomacy, but I just know I
yeah,
don't have that. That's a skill. I don't have that.
I was raised. I was raised. Um, I have two sisters and two younger sisters. Well, I have three younger sisters. I have two daughters, and my mom was, I was raised more by my mom than my dad. My dad was working a lot whenever I was a kid, so I grew up around women enough to know, how to walk that line, how to like be honest without,
I never did learn it. I was always pissing off the women. I still am. Just because I think they're the more sensitive to it. I don't think I'd treat them any differently than men. They just have more of a sensitivity to it.
I don't know. Like, guys can be a lot more sensitive to that shit than women can a lot of times. I mean, I've run into
Not
that
my
before.
experience. But yeah, like you've seen even on this stream, some people rage quit over stupid shit.
I've actually like. There's a lot of women that'll be really appreciative as long as you're diplomatic about it, and like, you're not like you don't just like aren't just like blunt and like or mean or something like that. They'll really appreciate it if you tell them the truth. A lot of guys, it doesn't really matter like how you try to couch it. Like you try to tell them
Snafu
like
said there's some big huge news
it hurts
happening
their
right
ego.
now. If you want to contact him to see what it is. Okay, go ahead with the stream.
Well, hey, Snafu, come up here real fast and
No,
put your
he
number in
tried
the
to. I
chat.
told him not to.
Well, can you
No
just put
way.
it in the back chat so I can get his number again? Because I lost his number when I switched my phone.
All right, Snafu, you can come and put it in the back chat, but you're not coming on the panel.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay. Anyway, what were you saying, Chris?
No, that was it. I was just saying, like, it's just a matter of learning that diplomacy, or what we're gonna call it, just like learning how to talk to people in a way that where you can be honest but not.
Part of it is I need people to be blunt and honest with me, so I'm just giving them the exact thing that I would want from somebody else. But it's never what I want from someone is never lined up with what other people actually want from people.
Yeah, that's where the do unto others is they would have you have them do unto you kind of thing falls apart kind of thing a little bit. Because some people really like abuse. So
Here, Daddy's Hardcore Kink. I love the name, by the way. Has
Let's see, where is
questions.
he?
Like
Yes,
that'd
I
be
grew
like
up with. I did. I grew up with women, and I grew up with like my mom and my sisters, and I have 2 daughters, and I have a wife, and I spend probably more time regularly with. I mean, I had a lot of male friends growing up, but I had a lot, in terms of like my living, the time I spent living with people, I probably spent more time living with other women than I have with men, and I've had male roommates and stuff like that too. But yeah, I mean, I have definitely learned how to be honest and walk the line like that. I guess I get your joke though. That knowing that's what
Well,
that means kind of
today I
thing.
was brutally honest. You remember the other day when I was talking about the community, how we put in some speed bumps and people were upset.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, so one of the people that were upset, they came into the community today, and she owns a house, but she doesn't live here. And so when she was leaving, she started revving her engine up and just acting a
Oh,
fool.
that's
And so
passive aggressive.
she came up around the turn and she waved, and I just flipped her off, right? And she gets out of the car and she's like, so what's the big deal? And I said, look, I said, you're trying to start a bunch of shit when I'm doing my duty as a father to keep my daughter safe, and it's just a couple speed bumps, and you don't even live here. And she starts getting all pissed off and stuff. I said, look, this is how it is. I just think you're a cold bitch, and if you were in my situation, you wouldn't be making jokes and you wouldn't be doing this passive aggressive bullshit. If it was your child that almost got ran over, you wouldn't be doing that. You wouldn't be laughing about it. You wouldn't be making a mockery out of it. And I just think it's a bunch of bullshit. And she was just like trying to get even more mad and stuff, and trying to make a big thing about it. But I just stood my ground, and I said it very calmly. The words I chose probably could have been better. But then as she was like walking away, she starts like going, well, your dogs need to be on a leash. And they weren't even my dogs, they were just other people's dogs that were walking around in the park, and they're
So
not
it
in
was
the
just
road or
cold.
anything. So yeah, she was trying that, and I just looked at her. I said, you know what, if we need to put you on a leash, we'll put you on a leash. Have a good day. And I just left it at that. I said, she says, oh, fuck you, whatever. And she like starts the car and she starts being passive aggressive. I just waved to her. I said, have a good day.
Bye, bye, ma'am.
Bye. But that's where I'm at with people right now, is like, I'm at the point where
Oh,
like, I got to be brutally honest with people. So if you ask me a dumb question, like, oh, how do I look? Like, unless I'm looking to like really, really tell you the truth, like I'm looking to just get out of the situation altogether by just saying you look great. Like, so I guess
Then
that's a
why didn't
lie
you
and
just
stuff.
look to
But
get out of that situation? You know,
why didn't I what?
why didn't you just look to get out of that situation? You were being confrontational.
Because it was one of those things where she was being passive aggressive online first, and then I blocked her online, and then she's being passive aggressive, as she's driving by and stuff. So I figured it was best to just nip it in the butt right there, let her have the outburst right there. Let her say whatever she had to say to my face right there, because it wasn't me and a big group of people around me. It wasn't me trying to make a spectacle out of it. It was just me like also getting out, what I had to say to her. And because she didn't want to listen to the situation. She didn't want to take into account that if her child was there and almost got hit, that maybe she would want some kind of resolution in the community to slow down. This all started over me asking people in the community to abide by the speed limit, which is very low, but it's a necessary thing because we all live like right on the street. Our house is like 8 feet from the street, everybody's house. So it could be your dog, it could be your child. We got neighbors with 10 grandchildren that are always playing in the street, riding their bikes and stuff. So yeah, I was being a little like, a little aggressive about it, but I was trying to get rid of that passive aggressive, you know. That
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 never
was my
right,
intention.
it never works. It freaks them out and they escalate.
But I didn't escalate it any further. I just said what I had to say, cracked a few jokes, and and that was that. So I
So to
feel I
me,
feel
that's
like it'll be
passive
done.
aggressive. When you're cracking jokes and not, that's not being aggressive and just like right to the point. You know what I mean? It's passive aggressive to me is saying something and meaning something else. in essence, you know.
Well, I said what I had to say. I explained to her again the situation, and she wanted to try to, like, you know, misdirect it into other things, and so that's why I just was like, hey,
Yes, my
you
eyes
know,
are open.
is what it
Right.
is.
I guess my main point is, how do you determine when to be confrontational and when not to?
Well,
When
I
they're
think
passive
that
aggressive, you
I
be
think when it continues to happen,
That's
like
what
it's
I
a
am.
continual thing, that you
that
have to
makes
do
sense.
something. And if I wouldn't have done something, then I consider it one of those things where I'm going to sit here and I'm going to stew over it. So it's a me issue, not a her issue at that point. I understand it's a me issue, but for me to feel better about the whole thing, I needed to explain myself, and I needed to bring that like, I needed her to stop and talk to me, and that was the easiest way for me to do it, was by flipping her off. Is I knew she was going to stop. I knew she was going to get pissed off, right? Because she was already pissed off.
But tell me that's not passive aggressive, Moose.
No, that's if you're flipping
That's
someone off, that's not
that's
passive.
direct.
Those are
That's
fighting
directly
words.
aggressive.
Yeah, but he just wanted to have a talk.
Well, I thought it would be best
Yeah,
for
but
all
no,
of us to
yeah, I
have it.
told him that approach is not going to work for having a talk. But I think he had different like competing motives at that moment.
I know it sounds like it worked out okay for him. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
interesting.
nobody got
Yeah,
hurt.
like normally I would be against that kind of like busybodying type of stuff, but they sound like a bunch of Karens, so I'm completely on your side now.
It was just it was a silly thing, you know, and I'm not saying that I'm a hero or anything like that, or I walked away like feeling like a champion, but I'm willing to discuss the situation, and I'm willing to take the feedback as it comes, because I don't think I'm right in all situations, but I also didn't know the right way to go about a resolution without having that interaction. You know, even
Sometimes you
if it,
can't
you're right. You're right. Some
with
people
like
don't
certain
want
types, you
resolution.
just can't. Yeah, I learned very early when to like fold, pull out, not worth it.
Yeah.
I don't think I do you know what that comment means, Jeff? Because I don't
Which one?
I don't understand it. Daddy's hardcore kink one there.
About the
I'm not
bondage
sure.
dungeon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a
I,
bondage dungeon, so it shows what he
yeah.
knows.
Yeah. I don't know what a kink friendly exchange is. I don't know what that means. Like where you can go exchange like your bondage gear for other bondage gear, like, or something. That seems like that'd be unsanitary. I don't know.
Oh, and
I don't think
Mitch,
I don't think I want someone to use bondage gear myself.
what what pissed me off about the whole situation originally was she called me a cop, and so that, I don't know, that pissed me off. That definitely
Yeah,
pissed me off.
but I mean,
Oh,
that's still a you problem, you know.
Oh, I
I,
agree.
like if some crackhead walking down the street calls me a name, I'm not gonna really give a shit. But you know,
yeah.
But
if
this is
my
different. This is someone in his neighborhood that had a specific problem with someone he's already had negative interactions with. I mean, it was more necessary for him to confront it head on. I think you did the right thing myself. I think you did the masculine thing. If anything, I think you were direct, and you were. I mean, like you said, you maybe could have chosen your words better, so this or that. I mean, you can like quibble over all the details you want to, but I think the overall spirit of what you did was very was very masculine, very direct, and very, was generally just a good way to be. Um, it's a lot better than hiding behind passive aggressive politeness, and just like if he just went out there and just kind of give him a shitting smile, and be like hi, kind of thing, that
That's
kind of
still
shit. Where
aggressive. That still reads as aggression to me. It makes me want to fight every
yeah,
time.
I know
So
that
if they're
I want to
it
be
doing
makes
it,
me
clear too.
makes me
people
want to
that
fight
are
more.
conflict avoidant know how to react to that, but people that are not, like me, I don't play into the passive aggressive dynamic they're trying to set up. And so
Yeah,
to me,
Mhm,
it just reads as aggression and makes me want to fight. And then
mhm.
And I
we
want to be
usually
that.
end
clear
up
too,
fighting,
guys.
and they don't know what to do at that point because the passiveness is not working.
Yeah,
She walked up to me, right? And she kept getting closer to me. So I took a step back
yeah,
to give her that space to understand that, this isn't like a barroom brawl. Like, I'm not going to be abusing some woman or something. I'm just telling you how it is,
yeah,
because you came up to me. You obviously knew that there was an issue. You have the issue at that point as well, because she had been speeding past our house.
yeah. No,
But
I like I said, I'm on your side.
It was
here,
a
man.
very non-aggressive post. It was a post about the whole community slowing down because
That's all you
we're-
did was make a post,
that's all I did was make a
and
post.
that was
then
enough to set this off. Oh god, okay.
it set it off worse. It triggered her to do it more. It triggered her to do, to act a fool even more when I was basically just, I didn't even point this person out. I didn't point any people out.
Are these white people? Or are these Hispanic
That's
people?
what-
oh God.
That's what I was going to say to Reddington.
Yeah.
It's just the awfuls, the affluent white female liberals.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So it's
But
not all
then
women.
again, you
but
would
Yeah,
have
a
to
lot
do
of the ones we describe have that higher rate of sensitivity that I'm talking
Is that
about.
because
It
I
happens
would
to
be I would be
mostly women,
surprised,
but and gay men. It's happened with gay men.
I would be surprised if that you got that kind of response from like a Hispanic woman who has a family or something like that. But yeah, from white women, it doesn't surprise me at all.
It's the
White-
bougie.
white-
It's bougies, whatever
Yeah,
color they are.
yeah.
They're mostly white, but it's the bougies.
I mean, it's
It's
a
the
very. I
bougie.
mean, to be honest, it's a very American type thing to do. Someone tells you what to do, so you do the opposite of it. I mean,
Yeah.
That's
What
classic
authority do you
Americana, as
have
far as I'm
over
concerned.
me? Right.
Well,
That's the reason why people don't react well to people like politicians like your Hillary Clintons and whatnot that get very that go out and tell people and talk down to people and tell them
I
what
was
they
very
should do
concerned with her personality. Like if Trump did happen to win, which I never thought he would, I was going to put it down to her personality. Like they made a mistake of running her as a candidate because she has that nasty, condescending personality.
Yeah. And it's just something that generally speaking Americans just don't like. I mean, that's the reason why that they're more even though Biden's not really much better, but at least he doesn't seem condescending. He just seems stupid. So that's the reason why people are willing to put up with it. So I mean, but I mean, Trump for all of his assholishness and all his bluster, he doesn't come across as condescending. Even though I think he is very condescending, he doesn't come across condescending. He comes across too dumb to be condescending. But Hillary has this nose up in the air kind of thing. Even though you'd think it would be you think Trump would be the one with the golden toilets and everything like that. But he's so gaudy. It's like he's such a gaudy person that it's impossible for him to be truly condescending, because he's always kind of a cartoon character and that kind of, but Hillary always came off as is just that teacher or that lady in your church or whatever, that lady in the neighborhood that you hated, that one that always is just a Karen. She's just just always causing a fuss about nothing or whatever, yelling at somebody in the checkout line, that kind of thing, like that. She comes across as that kind of person. Yeah, she's just a Karen.
The neighborhood Karens.
Yeah, and no one likes those kind of people because they want the people come on the stream sometime and try to tell Jeff when he can and can't talk and shit like
that. They have one
that
lands as a panel Karen. That's exactly what it does. That's why we don't get along.
Yeah.
We was doing it last night. They blew up.
MoOse was being a chat Karen, and that's why I came up here. Because he was telling the story like he was victimized in that situation. He was jumped on, and
what do you mean?
He kind of left it at that, but it
do you think
he
that
was attacked
all
in
he
the
made was a
situation.
post? Do you think that was escalation for her to go start something in person off of a post?
No, but what I'm talking about is what situation he brought up originally about the liar, and that's all I responded with was,
that
intent,
was you, Mitch.
Intent is what constitutes a lie, and then he responded with, well, everybody's a liar.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that.
Yeah. I did say because I do believe that everybody has lied in their time. I believe that almost every single person, no matter how.
So you're complaining about liars, and then you're justifying lying by saying everybody lies.
No, I'm not complaining about liars. I'm just saying. I said don't trust liars. I said you shouldn't trust people who lie consistently. When they lie consistently, that shows a pattern.
I don't trust them when they lie
dishonest.
once. It only takes one.
That's exactly what I said. Why would you trust a liar at all?
Well, you're right. You're right about that, but I still think that.
So you give them a pass one or two times because everybody does it.
I think it's situation dependent.
It's situational.
It's entirely.
It's about what they're lying about.
I know it's very hard for me to take a lie from somebody. That will just end. I can still be civil with them and still interact with them socially, but it's going to end any kind of trust or further
Exactly.
investment that I make in them.
Right.
Exactly
I'm
what I
not
said.
trusting them, but I guess that's where the disconnect was. Is I would still probably talk to them or be cordial with them, but I don't necessarily trust a liar, you know. But I
So
do
when you
believe
say
that
you would stay friends with, it's not necessarily on the
not
same level.
friends. I would be cordial. I'd be friendly with them.
Oh
I'd be
yeah, I don't.
cordial.
I mean, I wouldn't. Yeah,
Okay, well, let's say
I
like
still keep my distance from them, but
let's say the
I
very
could
first time I
mingle
meet
with
somebody
them
though.
socially.
Let's say the very first time I meet somebody, I'm in a social situation with this person. I don't really know them. They don't really know me. And something comes up where like they make one of those kind of like those social politeness kind of lies. You know, like they'll say like, "Oh yeah, this or that." You know, like or they do something like, you know, I don't know, I think we've all, I don't know. I feel like I've done it before. Like just like because I wasn't really paying attention or something, and someone's talking about a movie or something that I haven't actually seen or a band I haven't actually heard, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I've heard them."
And
Not
they
really because I
pretend to
really
be into it.
because I wasn't really paying attention to what they were saying, you know, and so it wasn't like thinking like I'm going to deceive this person and make them think I'm a fan of this band. It was more just like I wasn't paying a lot of attention to them, or like, or they might do the same thing to me, and like I'm
We're
not going to
not
hold that
coming
against
at
them, you know,
MoOse,
like
Snafu. Nobody's
I,
coming at MoOse.
yeah,
You're not
no,
even
I mean,
watching the
I
same.
I
You're
was
not even
I'm not
listening to
victimizing.
anybody else.
I was just saying that I was
No,
just saying that I
I
was on
like
Moose's
Moose.
side about stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
No, but it's
I
good
was
for
just
you to
saying
keep
me
me
as
up
well.
correct. You know, it's good for you for me to clarify my thoughts and stuff, and
I,
actually make it clear for everybody too.
I
that's one
understand yours
one of the
in the
main functions
sense
of
that you think
conversation.
everybody lies, so it makes sense to think that way if that's what you think about everybody. But I'm not used to everybody lying, and I think that's why I have a
I think
different
there are
reaction.
levels of lies, is I guess what I'm
But
getting at.
that's
There's levels of
yeah,
lies.
that's why it's
I
good
mean,
to have these
everybody can
conversations.
lie. I certainly know when I'm lying, and like I'm consciously the times that I do try it, I'm consciously doing it. I know what the truth is. I know what the lie is. I know I'm supposed to tell the lie over the truth and keep it going. Like it's something I'm aware of when I do it. So I think everybody can lie or has awareness of when they are lying.
Yeah, but like
Like
what Chris was saying, you know, like not paying attention to the conversation or whatever, that those things are what I was talking about. Those are the things I was referring to. Like, oh, you like something, but you really don't like that thing. Like, oh, you want to go out to pizza tonight, right? But you inside you're thinking, nah, I really don't want to fucking go do this with that person, but you do it anyways. It's kind of like lying to yourself. Like,
yeah,
and so
it's like okay, like I've
And
been in conversations before with people who are really into like certain kinds of music or something like that I'm not really necessarily into, but you can tell it means a hell of a lot to them, you know, like in a really serious way, and like even though you might have some like, you know, but it's not important to you that they know how much you might, you know, how many criticisms you have, that sort of thing. So it's a lot easier. It seems like it's the more socially better thing to do. Just be like, oh yeah, they're cool, you know, and just like, you know, just move on with it. Just like move on. Whereas if you actually be like, nah, no, I'm not. I can't let. You know, you can't let it go. You got to be real all the time. Remember that old Dave Chappelle sketch about when keeping it real goes too far, kind of thing. You know, remember the old skit
Keeping it
they used to
real
do?
goes
I didn't
wrong.
know that
Yeah.
was a
Yeah,
skit. That's like a lot of my life. It
yeah,
wasn't comedy,
yeah.
but I
There
didn't know
was
there
a
was a skit about it.
there was a con- yeah, it was a constant. There was a recurring skit on Chappelle's show was when keeping it real goes too far, or something like that. And it was like it would be like it was stuff like that where like, you know, somebody would say something like in it, and like the only thing that needed to be said in that situation is like, oh yeah, that's cool, man, don't worry about it, whatever. But instead, the person has got to be real. They got to be real. They got to be all, you know. They gotta tell the truth about this stuff, and so that it creates like this, you know,
Who
like it
wouldn't
just
want that?
this
Like,
skit.
would you want something fake? You
No, but
want people to lie to you to spare your feelings?
it's not about sparing feelings. Sometimes it's because you don't want to have the argument. Sometimes I don't want to get into a heated
But
argument
like
about a
that,
movie or something,
if
you
the
know.
truth, if like figuring out what the truth is an argument, it already makes me suspicious of that person. Like, why would you not want to work together to find the truth
If it's
instead
a,
of make a
okay,
fight about it?
if an entire conversation is about that thing, that's one thing. But if like in passing someone says something about, like, I don't know, they say something about some movie that I think is shit or something like that, and they're like, oh, like this movie or something like that, instead of
Oh, I
stopping the whole
did that when we
conversation.
watched that one horrible movie that I hated so much.
Yeah,
And you
yeah.
asked me what I thought about it, and my exact words were something like, "I don't want to tell you because it's all
Yeah,
we're
it's
gonna do
fine.
is
Yeah,
fight, and it's not worth fighting about. So
yeah,
let's just
exactly.
move on." And you're like, "No, tell me, tell me, tell me." And I ended up telling you we fought for like 2 or 3 hours on the street over this movie, and then again the
Well,
next day.
That was more about the fact that we need something to talk about in the stream, though.
Oh, I was
But
willing
yeah,
to not tell you at all because I saw where the discussion was going to go if I tried to tell, and it went exactly there. We looped for hours about how
I don't
bad
even,
this movie was.
I don't remember which movie that was anymore.
It was that British pub movie. Oh
British
God! It
pub
was,
movie.
see, I'm like skin is
Oh yeah.
moving around just thinking about it. It was so bad.
Yeah, no, and I still like that movie, and you still hate it, and that's fine.
Yeah, you
just let
said it
me
was one
know.
of your favorite movies, and then you asked me
Yeah.
what I thought about it, and I'm like, well,
The World's End. Yeah,
I don't want to take
Yeah.
that from him.
it's okay. I mean, and like it's not. It doesn't take it from me anyway. But like I don't mind. I don't mind those kind of things. But that was kind of the point of the stream too, is that we were just like being we watching. We were just talk about it afterwards. So yeah, that was kind of different. But yeah, in a normal, if it was just like an absolutely just like a milk toast like just social situation where like somebody showed me a movie that they think is like the best movie ever, and it really means a hell of a lot to them, and I didn't really I didn't really maybe I don't hate it. I mean, most of the time I don't usually hate movies that much. I can't think of a time when I just absolutely hated something that the other person liked a lot, but at the same time, it was it would be it's just like why bring that whole thing up, why take that away from them, whatever it is, why tear apart the movie, why do these kind of things whenever like we could just go
Yeah,
on having other
it
conversations
does
about other
seem
things.
cruel. I am aware of that, and I can hold myself back to a point. But if they keep trying to pull it out of me, it's not going to take much for that dam to break because it's going to come
Sure.
out eventually. That's why I
Yeah,
can
sure.
be tactful and diplomatic up to a point, but not very far.
I mean, in a lot of ways, though, for like when you're having movie discussion streams too, it's also more interesting too if two people have diametrically opposed views of the film. Anyway, it's a more interesting conversation usually whenever both people have like especially if they have like they have anything deeply critical to say about it, like like we both have like slightly, even though like I like it a little bit too, but like you liked the Barbie movie like way more than I do, but it makes it's more interesting in that kind of in that context when you're talking about movies and as in a critical way to have like two different viewpoints. You have like somebody really likes it or somebody really doesn't like that always helps in those situations. But when you're talking about just regular social situations where there was nothing, you're not trying to create a critical conversation about something like that. You're not trying to stimulate anything like that. Then it just, it makes a lot more sense to be like, oh yeah, Barbie is cool. Like, yeah, I didn't have a problem with it.
It doesn't, though, if that's not really how you feel. It doesn't make sense to say that. Not to me. Like, why would I tell, if he's asking me what I thought about this movie, why
If I
would I make
really,
something up
really
and say,
hate
oh,
it,
it's cool, man, instead of just tell him? I don't
I don't know.
understand the advantage of one over the other.
I
If
would
neither
really,
one's a big deal.
well, if either one's a big deal, but to some people it is a big deal. I mean, it's not. It never is to me. Like people can tell me that they hate every movie I love, and like it's not gonna like crush me, and it's not gonna like make me feel bad about myself or anything. But some people really they tie up their identity and
Yeah,
shit
but
like that.
that's on them. I don't feel responsible for that. If they ask me and I
I
tell
don't
them and they
either.
have some kind of reaction, I don't think that that's me.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh wow, they're awfully touchy about this thing they're asking about.
Yeah, they got to
Yeah,
be
I mean, I don't.
responsible.
It's not about being responsible for other people's feelings either. To me, though, it's just like sometimes it's just not wanting the hassle, and so that's maybe it's just more of a laziness thing. Yeah, than
Maybe I
anything.
don't know that. I don't know. I'm
Some,
always
Yeah,
some
ready to
that's
hassle.
all it could be to me is laziness. I mean, I don't know what else.
yeah, sometimes it's just a matter of just like it's like this is really important to this person. It doesn't really matter to me that much one way or another. It's not, especially if it's something I'm not passionate about. Now,
But they're
now it's
asking
like
for your opinion. It's not something that can matter or not matter. They're asking you to give how you think and feel about something.
it's just about feeling out the situation. In 99% of situations, I will just tell them like, yeah, I didn't really care for it too much, this or that. And there's that one or two times where like someone you can tell how much something is. You can tell that you like by you saying this one thing, it's going to start a fight.
No, I
And
cannot tell. I wish I had that power ability.
it's something I do read well in other people a lot of times. So I do
So
have
then, how do we know we can trust you 100% of the time? Like sometimes you're not just telling us
I'm always
what
honest
you
with
want
the
to hear
stream.
to avoid a fight.
I don't. This isn't a casual social situation, and plus, like, this is like our whole. This is like we do like we're not really necessarily a debate stream or anything. We're a conversation stream. So the whole point of our interactions, everything, are to have those kind of conversations. And I'm not talking about close personal friends either. If it's a close personal friend, it's a different situation. I'm talking about casual social interactions with people, acquaintance level type people. Like people I don't care enough about to actually tell them
I
the
guess
truth.
I don't have that category of people because there's nobody, even people I don't like, I would give them my opinion if I would tell them what I thought about something. So I don't have this category of people that I wouldn't do that for.
I mean, I don't have anybody in my life like that right now, but it's like more like work, like people at work, okay, like work friends or work acquaintances. You have work acquaintances, especially if they happen to be particularly annoying ones or something like that. I've had a few kind of work acquaintances that were people that were particularly annoying, and they used to come up and and try to talk to me and try to engage with me and stuff, and I try to be very polite and try to just politely back away from them because they were just, I don't know, something about them which just kind of creeped me out or something like that. And so yeah, I mean, for people like that, I if I don't want to be in a long ongoing debate with this person about Star Wars or something like that, then I'm just gonna kind of I'm just gonna be
Just
like,
tell me
oh
you
yeah,
gotta
it's
go
cool.
or you have work to do, which
Yeah,
is probably true.
with some people it's not that easy, but yeah, you know what I mean. But yeah, it's fine. I mean, it's a rare situation. It's not something it's not a constant thing that I deal with. I was just trying to explain the situations that I can say that I know that I have quote unquote lied, but it's more it's more of a lie of admission than anything. But still, it's
I
a
think
lie.
the larger point is that we're all able to lie, which is what MoOse was saying.
Yeah,
Maybe
we
not
do have
that
the
we all do lie, but
ability.
we all have the ability to lie if we choose to.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and like I said, I'm if it's someone I know and I care about, and I consider them friends at all, I will tell them the truth and be honest with them no matter what, because I consider that a responsibility.
Unless you think it's going to
being a
hurt their
friend.
feelings, because you do this kind of read on them, and if you see
No,
that it's not worth
even
it,
if I'll diplomatically tell them the truth about what I think about it, especially if it's like the do these jeans make me look fat kind of thing. If the jeans make the girl look fat, then I'm going to tell her as nicely as possible they make her look fat. I'm not going to just I'm not going to be like, no, they look good, because I feel like it would be more mean to let that person go out there looking fat in those jeans than it would be for me to tell them the truth and have them change the jeans.
I wouldn't want that on
Yeah.
my head at all. I can't imagine who that cares about that person would let her walk out of the house.
Exactly. Yeah. So but at the same time,
all these people that are saying everybody lies are really just telling on themselves. You're already lying.
Jeans don't make someone look fat. You've never seen you've never seen enough women try on jeans before, so.
Yeah, I agree. But I also assume fat people know that they're fat. I don't know any fat person that wouldn't know it.
No, I have seen certain kinds of cuts of clothes on certain people can make them look more fat than they are. Yeah, sure. If a girl's a stick, if she's a skinny little stick person, then sure, she's not going to look fat in any pair of jeans she puts on. That's true. It's not. They might not look good on her or something, but they're not going to look fat. But but she's a normal woman that has a normal amount of weight on her, a normal average weight. And I don't mean even in America. I just mean I just think of just being a normal average weight, a healthy weight for their age. And I'm not talking about fat positivity or anything. I'm talking about normal, just general, what we considered normal back 30 years ago, even. Fat, I've seen some clothing will make someone look more overweight than other clothes will. Other clothes will. I mean, it's just the way it is. So I mean, I've seen it's swimsuits are like that too, especially with women a lot of times. There is definitely there are some swimsuits that will make a woman look way worse than she would if she wore a different swimsuit. I've seen it both ways. I've seen the same girl look really sexy in one swimsuit and look really not good in the other one. So yeah. I mean, but that's fine. I mean, you can yes, jeans accentuate your already existing fatness. They don't make skinny people look fat. No, I didn't mean it like that though. But that's not the point of the anyway. You're kind of getting hung up on the little tiny details there, but still. Anyway, how's your day been, Mitch?
Oh, good. Good. Well, my dog ripped off her dew claw, so she's resting. Got her medicated. She's chilling, and yeah, just chilling out. snowing.
You travel a lot, huh? You travel a lot.
Yeah,
You're in the car a lot. So.
yeah. I traveled 21 states and 83,000 miles last year.
So you're just gonna live on the road then? Is that what you do?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Okay. I mean I don't know much about you, man. I mean I'm just trying to just find. I just know I see you every time I see you on the stream. I'm seeing you in the car, so I didn't know if like you were just like you're like maybe you're I thought maybe you're a Lyft driver or an Uber driver or something like
No, no, this is my home.
that. Oh, okay, man. That's cool. I mean, hey, like some people like get along really well like that. I've never I lived in my car for a while too once, so you know, no shade
No, I
there.
got a good setup. It's great. I got it. I got it good. I got a refrigerator,
I
heater.
did not have a good setup. It was a tiny car that I lived in, so it was not comfortable to sleep in. It wasn't comfortable, and I was in a very bad. I was in California at the time, and it was a very bad state to be. At least in my experience, it was a very bad state to be homeless in a car in because everywhere I tried to park just to go to sleep, there I would get harassed by cops and have to leave and find another place, and they just happen all night long, trying to keep myself from pissing them off enough for they try to arrest me or something.
There's a lot of that. Yeah, yeah. You got to get pretty strategic with it.
Do you? Yeah. I mean, I know they used to like. I know some people used to like sleep in like use the Walmart parking lot stuff like that. But like you couldn't there. I know. I wasn't able to do it there in California. But I've
Yeah.
known people that have done that before and stuff like that, and we've never had any issue with it. There's this one dude that out here that we met. He was at one point he was like he had like he begged. He was like a homeless person that lived on the street, and he'd saved up enough or something, and like and then some in connection in conjunction with somebody giving him like this broken down kind of van. And so then, and like that, I guess somebody that worked at this Wendy's or like managed this Wendy's and like that, and he parked out there and he started trying to like get this van working for himself, and he's living out that, and they gave him a job at the Wendy's, and then eventually the guy actually he actually became the general manager of the Wendy's. He went from being completely homeless to getting like a van to getting like an RV to like and now I don't see the van or the RV anywhere. So I guess he got a place, he got a home or something like that. It was pretty cool. Like like dude really did that thing that people always talk about, like that they say you can't do in society. So it's kind of inspiring to see somebody like like work their way from like being on the streets to like to like being the general manager of this Wendy's and all this stuff like that. It's pretty cool. It was pretty badass.
That is impressive.
I met him a couple of times. I mean, he was a really nice guy. But he was just like he was this old scraggly. He looked kind of crazy. I mean, to be honest, like I'm kind of surprised. But people there, I guess the manager there at the time was, or the owner or whoever was like had had mercy and decided to give him a shot. And he worked hard and he worked his way up all the way to GM. I remember walking in there one day and seeing him like the general manager tag on his thing. I was like, holy shit. Look at you, man. You really did it. That's I mean, that was like an ongoing saga that because that Wendy's is just like right from our house. So we used to see the guy out there like begging and like on the like panhandling on the side of the road, and then
But what am I going to work up to? More problems? I don't think I have anything to work up to. I think a lot of people have a lot of catching up to do to me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I'm not saying you do. I wasn't talking about you,
matter
man.
of perspective, So
I wasn't talking about you, man.
What do you do now? Do you do anything?
What do you mean? Like for work or?
Yeah, or for income?
Yeah, I work at a bakery during the winter and frisbee golf shop during the summer usually.
Oh my god, that sounds fun.
Yeah, that sounds cool, man. So you work and you save up your money and then you go travel around. That's cool. Yeah, I used to know people do that, did that shit. And I think that's cool as hell. I don't. And like when I was younger, I always thought I was going to be like, I used to play, I had a couple of bands and stuff like that. And I was really into making music and stuff like that. So I used to think that eventually I was going to like, be on like that tour life kind of thing, and it never really happened. But I was always like kind of prepared for that, but I never actually got to live it. But people tell me it sucks. Other people tell me it really sucks. I really love it. So again, it just depends on the kind of person you are. If you're the kind of person that really likes moving around like that, some people are really happy like that, some people aren't, but I don't know. I like going places, but I can't say I love traveling that much, so.
Yeah, see, I think it's I don't I can't stand watching movies. The last movie I think I went to was Hannibal in the theaters. My my family took
that's
me
that
to,
was
and
a
I
while
fell
back.
and I fell asleep. You know, it was like I just don't give a shit. It's that if it's not real, it doesn't interest me. So I got to be out experiencing life to really appreciate it, I guess. You know,
Respect,
because
man.
it's the
Respect.
best time of my life, honestly. Like,
Hey,
Much
so
respect.
I just got off the phone with Snaps, right? And
Oh my
I
God.
just verified two different things that he just brought up. So the first thing is that Vince McMahon is he's being looked at for sexual abuse and sex trafficking, and Biden is looking at sending the National Guard to Texas right now.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
I,
what was
that, I
that
did
border thing?
that
Oh, I
border
can't
thing
even hear you
because
guys.
yeah, it's just that it's because like the Supreme Court said that they could use wire cutters to cut down the razor wire, and I guess and then Reg Abbott stood up to him and said like, no, we weren't gonna do that, and then starts redoubling their efforts, and now yeah, Biden's threatening all this shit. So Biden's
Oh,
gonna send
like
the national.
Texas is being defiant of the Supremes.
Yeah, and it basically, well, but the Supreme Court, I don't think they said they had to take down the razor wire. They said they gave them
But
permission
they
to.
could if
They
they
could,
needed
yeah,
to, because Texas was saying you can't cut it to help free the refugees or whatever, and
yeah,
they're like, we need to be able to cut it when we need to cut it.
yeah, so they give them permission to do that, and that's not what this is about. This is basically, I guess the idea is that he's going to send the National Guard to force Texas to let illegal immigrants into the country, which is
That sounds like framing to me,
yeah.
because that's not what the case was about. It was about the razor wire specifically.
I know. I mean, it has nothing to do with the case. I'm saying like they're making it into something else. They're taking
Yeah,
the excuse of the Supreme Court case
yeah.
to make this whole other issue about immigration, and it's not about that.
You talking about the
And
journalist or whoever's writing that?
oh no, I'm just I mean I think that if Biden is I saw the same thing on I saw the headline.
Oh, is that Snafu's big news?
Oh, the Vince McMahon thing is because he's been, he's been telling everybody for a long time that the WWE is a huge like sex trafficking thing, and none of us believed him, none of us like listened to him and stuff. And now he has some kind of, you know,
He's been saying that. I
he's
didn't
been
know
Accused.
saying
that.
that for a long
It
time.
says accused, so I just want to make that clear so there's no misinformation. So far, he's just accused.
Right. No, I mean, I'm not saying anything about the truth of it. I'm just saying, but do you have any links to like him saying that? Like, I don't even understand. Like, why would he say that about his own company, that the company he runs and owns?
No, so I'm talking snappers. I'm not talking Vince McMahon.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying Vince McMahon's been saying that about the WWE for a long time, and like now I was confused, man. I apologize. That's my
No,
bad.
it's
I was miscommunication on my part. I
this
missed it.
article. It says that a former WWE employee is accusing founder Vince McMahon and another former executive of sexual assault and trafficking in a graphic federal lawsuit. It's a 67-page lawsuit filed by Janelle Grant on Thursday, and it contains serious allegations of sexual misconduct, including that McMahon offered her up to a star wrestler for sex and coerced her into a sexual relationship to keep her job and get promotions. And it alleges that McMahon shared pornographic images and videos of her with other men and WWE employees. So I don't know how big this
Uh,
is, but
that doesn't sound like trafficking to me.
Snafu is always
The military guard thing sounds even bigger. The National
Yeah,
Guard.
it sounds like a
yeah, the
much bigger
National
deal.
Guard thing is the most important, but I think the reason why he brought this up is because
He's
at the
obsessed
same
with
time,
PDF.
yeah, he's obsessed with it, but at the same time, as this National Guard thing's going off, they throw the bread and circus out there with this trafficking allegation and stuff like that to keep people from. I think they do it to keep people from paying attention to what's going on.
So far, it's saying that the Democrats are calling on Biden to send the National Guard. Biden has not decided himself what he's going to do. It's the Democrats urging him to send the National Guard.
Yeah,
Specifically, Joaquin
I figured
Castro and Beto O'Rourke.
I didn't put too much stock into it. I just saw I saw a couple of headlines that mentioned it, but I figured it was probably something like that. I figured there was probably a lot more to it than that. Biden doesn't have any spine. I mean, it's not like he his spine's like actual jelly at this point. So he's been decomposing for at least 4 years now. So
It just seems like a lot of dog shit right before an election.
Oh, I think it's just the beginning. Like, y'all, we're not even in election cycle yet. This is
Right.
only that roller coaster hasn't even left the little platform yet.
No, yeah, we're still in that place where the chain is slowly pulling us up that first hill. That first hill, it's like you're hearing that cranking
Yeah,
sound.
I
Like,
don't think we got to that hill yet. I think
I think we're still getting on the train.
so. It's like,
Oh, you think we're getting
buckle
on the
up,
train?
'cause
Okay,
this is
okay,
the
all
most
right.
exciting thing that happens.
I
in the
feel
next few
like
months.
I could hear that chain cranking in my head somewhere, but maybe not. Maybe it hasn't
I
gotten there
love
yet.
roller
Maybe
coasters. I love
I
that
do too.
chain.
I fucking love them so much.
Man, it makes me want to be on one right now.
You're right, me too. I just like to just think about like
I used to
Dad,
watch them on YouTube. They have the POV ones.
Yeah, it's not the same. It's like it's the
I used
what
to
I
get
love.
stoned and pretend I was riding the roller coasters.
Oh, dude, we have we have Six Flags here. We used to have season pass at Six Flags. We have the season passes plus basically you go to Six Flags anytime you want. Plus we have the dining pass thing. So we used to go up there just to eat sometimes because like they have pretty decent food. So you basically get a meal. Do I actually believe that Biden is dead? Yes, difficult Benson. I think he's actually dead. We're actually have weekend at Bernie's in the White House. Yeah, totally. Oh, whatever, dude. No, I don't think he's dead. Any case, but no, like we have the season passes at Six Flags, and we used to go. I mean, I used to especially go up there on like the weekdays, like when there's nobody there, and you could just you could just go up there and ride.
Oh
Like
yeah, you could just
I
keep
go ride.
going off and on the ride.
Yeah, I go ride the Texas Giant like 12 times in a row. I'd ride the we have this one called the Mr. Freeze that like is just like it's like a rocket coaster. The whole thing takes like 8 seconds, but it's just like this like it just like you start backwards and it just rockets you back through 2 loops and it like brings you up to this hill like this and it just stops for like and then like you just have like this moment where everything just like hangs in the air for like it's like for like a second, but it feels like 5 minutes. You're just like suspended there like and then you just go back through really fast and it's so much fun. But I love that the Texas Giant's like my favorite roller coaster of all time too. It's like it's an actual 2.5 minutes of actual roller coaster, and it's got like at one time it was the tallest wooden roller coaster in the world, but I don't think it is anymore. But yeah, it's just like it crawls up that first hill. It crawls up it so slowly because it's like a really really long tall hill, and it's a wooden coaster, so it creaks and everything, and you hear all these sounds.
Yeah,
and
those are
everything.
the ones that rattle you around.
And then as if you ride in the back, like it starts whipping you. It like the front as soon as the front starts going, it starts pulling you even faster. So before you even fully get to the top, it starts whipping you over the edge, and you can actually feel like the back of that cart come up off the tracks just a little bit, and you lose gravity for like like half a second, but it feels like it feels it's just like it's like you literally you become it's the closest I'll ever be to an astronaut, to feeling weightless. Like you feel weightless for like just this brief moment, and it's just amazing. I don't know, I love it. I think there's something about roller coasters that I absolutely love that I find it hard to articulate to people. I see to me roller coasters are more than just like they're just such an amazing thing because when you think about them, like what even are there? There's just a stupid thing. It's such a stupid idea. It's like okay, we're gonna take
They're
this.
fun.
No, they are. I love them. But when you think about them in a practical sense, there is no practical use for roller coaster besides it being fun, right?
No, it's entertainment. It's sensational.
It's entertainment. But more than that, it's
Same with the water
storytelling.
slides.
There is an element of storytelling to a good roller coaster, like the way it plans.
They have
that
video
it
game where
down.
you build the coasters from like the ground up.
Yeah, I know. I never liked it
Tycoon.
though. I tried to play. I used to try to play it, but I never liked it that much. I like riding them too much. But like, there's the kiddie coaster at Six Flags called the Runaway Mine Car. Okay, and this coaster is it's brilliant.
We
The
don't
whole
live in
thing is
Colorado.
the whole coaster is nothing but fake outs. Okay, you get on this roller coaster and you start going on this thing, and then you think it's about to get fast, and then it just turns real fast, and it does that. It does it to you like 2 or 3 times. It kind of jerks you around. You're like, what the hell is this? And then without you noticing it, you pull into what looks like the station you started in, right? It pulls into this thing. It's amazing psychological fake out because it pulls you into this thing. It looks just like the station like the place you started in, but you're going just fast enough where you don't really have time to notice the fact that, oh wait, those aren't people. Those are just like mannequins. There's like mannequins standing there, and it's a bunch of fake people, and you realize that right ahead of you is like a black hole. And so like the whole roller coaster is all these fake outs, and then right at the very end of it, it takes you to the place where you kind of like you're kind of like, oh, it's over. And then right as you realize that those aren't real people, you drop down, and it actually has a real like an actual drop. And at the very end of it, like most roller coasters, the opposite. Like most roller coasters, like do the drop at the very that's the first. Most roller coasters are entirely gravity propelled. Like the first hill is what propels the whole thing. It's like not powered by anything else, but by gravity. And so like it's brilliant. It's an actual story to it. It's just like a movie, like that's like fakes you out, and then suddenly you have like this big like climactic moment, and then like after that the coaster is actually over after that. But it's like I think things that are amazing. Like there's ways you can tell stories and ways you can like communicate like a narrative without using a word. Just it has a narrative to it all on its own, and I think it's beautiful. I think to me it's got to be. And I'm pretty sure, and I did look this up at one point. I don't think that they're entirely an American invention, but roller coasters as we know them are an American invention, and you have to realize like they'd almost have to be, because like what other country has ever
Denizen, we talked to
invented?
one the other day. We had a lizard, a reptile, the serpent people. That's what he
Yeah,
believed
serpent
in.
or reptile people.
Nagas.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, yeah. The reptilian belief people have been around for a long ass time. I mean, David Icke was the most famous one from back in the day. But I mean, like I remember, like I said, I tell it before on here, talking about like
Is
back
it
in the
just because
AOL
it's
days.
cool to believe? Like if you're gonna have a conspiracy theory, that's a pretty cool one.
I gotta give it to like it's a silly one, but I gotta say, yeah, that's a pretty damn.
It's
cool
way
one,
better than the Jays.
Oh yeah, God, like why do we got? I'm getting to know you. Yeah, yeah, I got you, man. I'm not I love everybody in the chat, by the way. I mean, there's none of you out there. Like I don't even mind. I don't, as long as nobody's out there being, if you're not out there being abusive, if you're not out there being abusive, or you're not out there like hurling shit at people, I got love for all you guys. I mean, it's not.
Y'all shouldn't even
love.
be on the stream. Y'all should be headed for the Texas border right now, and
my sister is going to be heading this way to pick us up in about 30 minutes. So I'm going to have to get up there.
Scratch. This is an entertainment channel. Don't take anything I said as actual me telling you to do something. Please don't listen to me.
Yeah, theory of your own of why people believe what they do. Well, what is it? Denizen?
I'm just going to start replacing they with the reptile people for now, and all of these conspiracy theories. When they say they are doing this, they're trying to control you. I'm just going to replace it all with reptile people. And then I think
that is more fun. Or, more fun. I bet we can come up with something better than that. Like we can come up with something even dumber and wackier.
I like the snake people.
There's a snake people, or the I think it was it's a guy's channel. It was internet comment etiquette. You ever seen him with Eric? Internet comment etiquette. He makes fun of conspiracy theorists a lot.
No, if it has etiquette in it, no, I didn't.
Well, it's not really etiquette. It's a joke, but he just goes in comment sections and leaves for really snarky asshole comments about dumb videos, and he just makes.
Oh, I wish he'd come here.
Yeah, I think you'd like his stuff. But anyway, he loves it. He loves to make fun of conspiracy theorists, and one of his he made up his own called the Cloud People. He made up these people that live in the clouds that kind of look like clouds with big fangs, and and he has like T-shirts and stuff made with them. So it's pretty funny.
What Halloween costume? What is he talking about?
Yeah. Oh, he's thinking it's a reptile thing. It's like you got a new Halloween costume. You can be a reptile person.
Okay.
Hey, you get some of those contacts. You get those contacts that make your eyes look like reptile eyes.
Oh,
and then
those are creepy,
that's it.
man.
That's all you need. That's all you need. Just enough where it's like subtle enough where people are like, "What?" They just have to. They look at you a second time. They're not quite sure what they saw. Like it's like if you do the, or cat people, or
I might do that. Serpent people 2024.
Serpentor. Finally, the prophecies of G.I. Joe shall come true. I'm telling you, that G.I. Joe movie from when I was a kid is so fucking weird, man. It is like it's like Cobra Commander gets bitten by like some snake and he slowly turns into a snake over the course of the movie, and like at the end of it, like Cobra Commander, like his end becomes that he actually turns into a snake and slithers away. It's actually like that has happened in a kids movie. I was growing up, is like one of the he's like the main villain of the whole G.I. Joe thing, like just turns into a snake. So it's like, I guess reptile people. My point is that reptile people have been around like ever since Cobra, anyway. So Cobra, maybe that's why people believe in reptile people. Maybe they're brainwashed by G.I.
No,
Joe.
they said it came from Hindu, like
Yeah,
ancient Hindu document or something.
Well, I've seen a recent series of videos that describe the serpent. You know,
was it the Naga? That makes more sense. That
it was in pretty much every
that
culture.
he actually did research into this ancient Hindu document.
It wasn't necessarily bad either.
Yeah, and there are people who have even connected to Nephilim or to the Grigori, the Watchers type thing. So that suggests that they were like well, some people think that the garden, I know we don't believe the Garden of Eden is a real thing here, but I'm saying, but if you took it as a literal story, what it does actually say, whenever after the serpent tempts Eve, and the serpent first of all talks, and that's not weird, like the serpent is a talking creature, and none of the other animals were mentioned talking, and it says that God curses the serpent to, from that day forward he shall crawl on his belly and eat dust, or something like that. So like there are people even in Christian circles that believe that at one point that reptiles or snakes were humanoid type creatures that walked around on two legs and could speak, and it was a normal thing. I grew up hearing people talk about that kind of thing in churches and stuff like that. So I'm saying, like, there are people that actually do believe that even in Christian theology, that at one point in time, in the beginning of all life, that snakes were actually were humanoid intelligent creatures.
People instead of
octopus people. Yeah, octopus are actually kind of creepy and already. You don't even need to be octopus people.
Is that the octopus people pushing those buttons, pulling those levers?
Well, they got 8 arms.
Cthulhu. Yeah, I think of that because I play in a Cthulhu role-playing game, and I think about that when people are talking about the conspiracy stuff, how they sound like the characters from this game I'm playing that are encountering all of this Cthulhu stuff.
There is Lindsay wanted me to say that there is like the same guy I mentioned before that does like the weird squirrel, the squirrel obstacle courses. He did a thing with an octopus. He had a pet octopus or something like that he created, like this insane, like, I guess he's like a wildlife rehabilitator or something, like, but he was rebuilding this octopus, and so they built it like this insane obstacle course to see if it was going to be capable of making it in the wild or something like that. And it was pretty cool. Like, the octopus are really, really smart. They really are. They have insane problem solving skills compared to pretty much any other, although squirrels are pretty damn smart too from watching this thing. The animals can figure some shit out, man. They're not sorry, I'm my mom's mother. Anyway. Yep. Okay, trying to get Dr. Robert Price to talk about Lovecraft. Okay. Fuck it, I'll do it live. Yeah, you should come up, Machine, because I'm about to leave. So we need somebody else to come, talk, be a talking head here, because I have to go. I have to go get on a train.
Oh, you're doing that today? Is it time for you to go?
No, in about like I said, about 20 minutes. My sister should be leaving. Should be close to getting here. As soon as she messages,
we can wrap up because this was going to be your travel day anyway.
Yeah, no, but I mean, there's no reason to wrap up unless everybody just, like, it seems like the chat's still like hopping. So
well, you just said 20 minutes. You gotta go.
Well, she should be messaging about 20 minutes. When she does, then I'll leave or we wrap up. Then it doesn't matter. I was telling Machine he ought to come up, or I'd like to hear difficult Denison's, like, what his theory is, why people believe that stuff. I think that's an interesting. It's interesting if you have a unique take on that, of like why people believe in things that reptile people, stuff like that.
Yeah, why people believe what they believe is a very interesting psychological question.
Mm-hmm.
And it's different for most people, but still, it's definitely there's definitely some commonalities amongst most people, like the way we are, the way some some of it's you got to wonder if some people are just genetically predisposed to believing stuff like that.
What's going on?
Oh,
Ass
my ass
basket.
turned into a basket. What does that mean?
Ass basket syndrome.
I don't think I want to know.
Might mean he has to rest up for tomorrow night. Yeah, yes, it's human in the sense that humans do this and our brains do this, but there's intelligent ways to do it, and there's random haphazard ways to do it.
We are pattern recognition machines. We really are. And so, like, I mean, it's
How
kind of
are lizard people or snake people showing up in a pattern? Like, what pattern is
I'm not
being recognized there?
I'm not actually gonna chalk up reptile people to that one, nor flat Earth for that matter. I'm talking about, like, I mean, most conspiracy type stuff is just people seeing patterns where they don't exist. But it is because
It seems like a
because
lot of inference and assumption making to me, more
they're
than pattern. Like they infer a lot of psychological motivation that I don't
we're
think a
definitely filling in
pattern would
gaps.
sustain, especially at the scale they're looking at.
We're definitely filling in a lot of gaps and and putting a lot of junk information in there to make that work for us. But our brains are so hardwired to find patterns and things that it's like, that's
Well,
the
that
reason
doesn't
why I
mean
think.
you're at the mercy of it.
No, you can rise above it. You can definitely be better than that. But I'm just saying I think that's like, it's kind of it's kind of our lizard brains that do that, as they say.
So, are you choosing to believe all that because it feels good on your brain? There's not really you don't really believe it. You're incentivized to believe it by your
I mean,
physiology.
I think they really do believe it. I think they do, but their brain figures out a way to make it work for in their minds. And that's the reason why, well, like, they come on when we talk to those kind of people and they spurg out on stuff and they go onto these long rants about all this stuff like that, and it's really confusing and impossible to like follow, is because in their minds they have filled in all the gaps and everything like that. All the dots
They're
are
like
connected in
trapped
their
by
head.
their own minds.
Yeah. In their heads, like, everything makes sense. It really does make sense to them in their heads, and that's why they do believe it. But it's pretty much, you have to be in their heads from their perspective to even understand where they're even coming from on it. Because, like, you would have to actually,
Yeah,
you
that
know,
is the barrier.
yeah, it's just
I can only imagine myself so far into that psychology, and then it loses me.
yeah. I mean, I had different points in my life. I believed some dumb stuff at different times. For different reasons, like, and I can trace my some of it even is sometimes it's something simple as depression can lead you to believing things. Like, sometimes you feel a lot, like, I was worried about 2012 being like the end of the world and everything back in 2011 or so, like that. And ultimately it was really because but it was like I felt I was going through a really bad period of depression anyway. So, like, like all that. So, like, it was like all this stuff that I had researched and learned, stuff like that, combined with like my depression, stuff like that, left me kind of into this really doomer kind of like conspiracy doomer kind of mentality. And I shook myself out of it before 2012 even arrived. But and it's like I said, like, one of the songs on my SoundCloud is I literally wrote the last line of it's like, I'm sick of the doom. Was literally, the whole song was written about that. It was written about this, like, being in that mind state of like believing that believing that everything was just being, I was obsessed with like just the world ending kind of thing. I just was obsessed with the world ending and stuff like that. So I had to get myself out of that mentality, because I realized, because I started coming out of the depression and I started realizing how unhealthy it was. But still, it's just like, I mean, sometimes it's just something as simple as that psychologically that can spur that kind of thing. It doesn't even necessarily have to be like, it doesn't, it's sometimes it's because people feel out of control of their lives, and like, so therefore by finding those patterns, it makes them feel like even if they can't control, at least they can understand it. If they feel like, if they feel like there's like some people would rather believe that there's an evil cabal controlling their lives and making their lives bad than they would believe that it's all random chance that cause that kind of thing, cause those things, or even their own decisions that made their lives bad. Like, they don't want to take you don't want to take it. It's not even like you consciously think, I'm not going to take responsibility for this, or I'm going to find somebody that does. Your brain just like can't deal with that, so you start looking for things that give you excuses and also like reason and understanding. Like, because sometimes really bad things happen to people that are out of their control. They really can, and they really are just random bullshit that happens to people. Like people's houses burn down, and
I'm trying to imagine control being that important to somebody that they would prioritize it over truth or reality, like that need to be in control so badly.
It's not even about control. It's about trying to make sense of something. Especially like, can you imagine like,
Well, you say
I try to put. Yeah, I did say control, but I meant it. I was trying to correct that too. I was trying to say it's not just about control; it's also about just trying to make sense of sometimes of something like a tragedy that could happen to you. Like imagine like your child, you lose a child in some way, like through some sort of something that's entirely not out of it's
I've
entirely
been
out of
through
your
that
hand.
kind of tragedy, but there
Yeah.
is no sense in it. Like
And
I
there
knew I
isn't.
couldn't make sense of something that was
But some
random.
people like they can't deal with it. They have such trouble dealing with it that they turn to try to find
So it's trauma.
alternative. Yeah, it's a lot of it's trauma. Yeah, I think it is. It's like a trauma response. You're trying to make sense of something that has no sense to it. It's not. It doesn't have. There isn't, and therefore it leads you to believing in a bunch of like people think that they're being like gang stalked, or they think that you think that people are trying to there's people out to get them and that kind of thing, because it at least it makes it seem like there was a reason for it, and it wasn't just no reason at all. Because when you lose someone or something that was that precious to you, I mean and it seems like it's all senseless like that. It's like in some ways, in some cases, this is the way this person is choosing to live instead of the opposite. And it's like instead of them going to commit die, as they say on the internet, instead they choose to believe in this crazy stuff because it at least lets them like deal with the grief. It's trauma based in a lot of cases, I think, for a lot of people. I've seen it happen to some people like that have started believing some crazy things after some bad shit happened to them and stuff like that. And it's easy to do. I almost went there too for a while with everything I went through those couple of years. It's just like you go so many things happen so fast, and you just like you don't even know how to make sense of the world around you. So you start trying. So it just starts seeming like sometimes to some degree, I think for me, this most recent time, I was almost to that degree of consciously choosing that. I've almost consciously choosing to believe in stupid things as opposed to like, dealing with it, because it was better than the what felt like the option, which was death. So, which that's what I mean. That wasn't really the only option, but in my brain, when you're in your brain, when you're in that trauma state, you don't really think, you're not thinking clearly, so. I do. That's why I have sympathy for some conspiracy theorists. I have sympathy, even though, like flat earthers, I don't understand those people. I don't know
What
what to
if
say
that
to
was
flat.
trauma?
I don't know how flat Earth can be true. See that one I don't get as a trauma thing. But yeah, but it could just be that could just be like a conspiracy there that they can just latch onto, and that just it's the same thing with like moon landing conspiracy shit. Like I don't understand. Like me and Jack were talking about that last night on
That was
Discord.
just lawn chairs, dude, and an umbrella. Can't you
Yeah,
tell?
I know, right? Like I 100% believe the moon landing is real. Okay, but I mean, yeah, it's but the documentary that's on the documentary on Apollo 11. Like, I mean, if you ever had any doubt, like that should get rid of anybody's doubts, but it won't. There's people that'll believe it anyway. But like me, I'm like, I don't even care if it was faked. Like, it was a good thing to do, even if it was faked. So fucking what? What do you gain by if you figure it out? You figure out the thing about the moon
They
landing.
gain
What have you
that
gained?
sense of power that they see something that all these experts
Yeah,
and smart
exactly.
people don't.
Exactly. Yep. It's just, but that one's in particular is like it's like it's not even like at least like with the reptilian thing, like they believe the reptilians are controlling their lives and are trying to hurting them or something. But the moon landing thing doesn't even hurt their lives any. It's like it's just like this thing that people want to like they just want to like be like just so they can like pull out all these like stupid little like facts about it that they can like say and like just to try to make other people like feel dumb or something like that, or try to make themselves feel smart. It's just very narcissistic.
Yeah,
That's one of the really narcissistic
I
ones.
think I underestimate the amount of intellectual insecurity that people are capable of feeling.
Oh yeah, definitely. Hey, I mean, I not only do I underestimate the amount of intellectual insecurity that even myself is capable of, and that doesn't even just go for other people. I know I underestimate how intellectually insecure I can be as well, and I can say that it's not just intellectual insecurity I underestimate. I also underestimate just how stupid some people can be sometimes. just like I mean, like seriously, it always throws me for a loop whenever I meet someone who really believes something really dumb that's like really basic, even like stupid little stuff. And I'm just like, oh man, like how do you even like talk to that person at that point? Like I'm trying to think of like a good example, but there's too many. Like it's just like too many times I've been in conversations where someone just like it's like the intellectual equivalent of just like thinking or mispronouncing a word wrong your whole life. They misunderstood like some fundamental thing about reality.
They didn't
entire
learn
lives.
science in the same grade that I did. I have noticed. I had to leave one panel this week. It was some flat earth guy arguing with an actual scientist that teaches college physics.
Yeah.
And the conversation was so painful, and the questions he was asking were so painful because they were constructed by somebody with no awareness of science, like not even fifth grade science class. You could tell, and it was hard to watch. And people kept platforming him and indulging him and giving him the floor and he didn't know anything he was talking about.
I mean, at least people that like take it all the way, that even if they don't have any scientific, at least I respect the people that really have like within their own worldview, they at least have like a system worked out that makes it all make sense for them. The people that just kind of like jump back and forth between all these random things that don't even coalesce together, like that's too much for me. But like at least I can have fun talking to somebody who has like a vastly different view of the world that's like based in fantasy, but at least I can like enjoy talking to that person to some degree because there's something to be learned from that, I think. But people,
I mean, they're all based in fantasy in some sense, because none of them are ever going to be the 100% accurate model of reality.
Sure. Yeah, even Insane Clown Posse, man. Like magnets, how do they work? They put that out in a song.
Oh, they were talking about that today too. Are magnets real? Like the same thing you would do with gravity, they were trying to do with magnets. And I said, scientists can study electromagnetism. They have math equations to describe it.
No, magnets are very well understood. I've never seen that. All I said about gravity is that even theoretical physicists say they don't fully understand gravity works. That's all I said. Shit. I mean, I'm quoting actual theoretical physicists that talk about that. Though.
I know, but we pulled up articles and we'd spent like probably over an hour of it on that stream, and it didn't say what you tried to simplify it into.
Well, I probably did a bad job trying to simplify it. I don't remember even. Science can't even describe what a field is. That's true. But that's a kind of but I mean that's so much of a concept though. A field of, you mean like a gravitational field or whatever like that. We know that. I mean, like Go ahead, Mitchell.
I don't want to cut you off. I'm good.
No, you didn't know. Go ahead.
Please cut him off.
I was going to ask a stupid question. Kind of. What do you think about dark matter?
Oh, never.
Did you miss our stream on that?
Yeah.
We fought about it for like 2 or 3 hours.
That's exactly what I was.
Because Chris kept trying to say it was the same thing as God.
No, I didn't say it was the same thing as God. I said
yes, you go watch. Don't gaslight me. Go watch that stream.
I'm not trying to gaslight you, but
over and over.
I didn't say it was definitely. I said it could be. I said I was open. I am open to interpretations of reality like that. I am. But I didn't say that I 100%
That's such a pointless
that
discussion to have, because anybody could offer any wild interpretation of reality. There's nothing to discuss. Like you could think it was created by aliens, or it's the Matrix, or whatever sci-fi theory you want to come up with. There's nothing to really argue about because it's so.
I didn't even come up with it. I was going by what actual scientists have said. That's what I was going off of. I'm going for things that I've read. I mean, not all of them agree on it. There's plenty of them that disagree about it, but there are actual scientists that believe stuff like that. I was not saying.
Yeah, there's probably individual scientists that believe all kind of crazy stuff that doesn't make it science. I can separate belief from science.
Okay. Well, I mean, we were talking about science, so
like if a scientist is writing this scientific paper talking about how dark matter is God, he's not doing science at that point anymore.
It's not even about like dark matter being God. It's about like dark matter being something
you
like in the place of.
specifically identified it with God. That's what I'm saying. There's no use. You just go back and watch the stream. Anybody who's there's no use re-arguing it because it's going to be the same loop that we got in that day because it's already happening right now.
I'm not saying anything else about it.
Okay. Because I definitely remember you saying it was the same thing as God because we argued about it, and now you're trying to pretend you didn't even say that.
I know what I actually believe, and I know I said it could be something like that. But I mean,
But my whole point is whatever that is, it's not science. Like, it's just people speaking metaphorically or figuratively, are people wanting to believe it's God for some reason arbitrarily is their hypothesis.
Well, yeah, I mean, what Reddington just said there is basically what I mean, dark matter itself is not science. It is literally just a theoretical concept they came up with to plug holes in their actual.
Well, that's what I was going to say. The science behind dark matter is about as legitimate.
Yeah, but any scientist would admit to. In fact, it came up on that conversation with that flat Earth guy and the scientist. He was saying the same thing. That's just what they're calling it. Right? There's something there. They're calling it dark matter right now as a placeholder.
Flow state taught me
a lot of it comes from the way the math equations are coming out.
So the old science books.
Any scientist, like y'all are not getting something over on science by saying that, because any scientist would admit.
I'm not trying to get anything over on science.
We're hypothesizing it's this thing called dark matter.
I don't know why you think you think I'm trying to get something over on science. I'm literally
talking about science.
Just for anybody who is, if it doesn't apply to you, just ignore it. But for anybody who is, because there is a lot of that on these panels where they seem to have this particular grievance against science as a method and process that they don't even seem to understand, but they have this resentment toward it somehow.
Yeah, deductive reasoning makes sense sometimes. But sometimes
deductive reasoning is based. I mean, I like science. That's the reason why I read so much and watch so many science explainer people and read so many scientific articles like that. I love science. I think science is fascinating. I also think there's things that that I do happen to get a little annoyed with some scientists, though, that act like they actually do know that they are 100% confident in the way the world works whenever they themselves have many holes in their theories. I just think everyone would benefit more from coming things from a more
But if you understood what science was, then nothing you said would apply to it or even make sense about science.
The old science books describing the ether.
You're caricaturing science or strawmanning it even.
Flow State mentioned that, and I've been obsessed with it ever since. It's, it's really, truly. I mean, I don't think even scientists know. I mean, that's honestly my.
No, they don't. That's mostly like, and I have no problem when scientists come out and talk like that, and they say that they don't know, and they're very open about that sort of thing. I have mad respect for it. I get annoyed with scientists that act like they do know it all whenever they don't even have.
Well, you must be running into different scientists than me, because most responsible scientists are not going to be that way. So you might be catching the fringe that are stepping outside of their scientific.
It's mostly the mainstream ones that do that shit that will try to tell you that things are definitely like this, even if you had to press them on it, they'd have to admit.
Like who? Neil
equations,
deGrasse Tyson, whoever. Like who's a Bill Nye?
Actually, Neil deGrasse Tyson's actually all right. He actually is pretty open-minded about things like that.
Carl Sagan.
He definitely. Carl Sagan was all right. He was all right.
I didn't. I'm naming the big ones I can think of or remember. They seem all pretty responsible, even though I don't agree with Tyson, Grassy Tyson, whoever, on a lot of stuff.
I don't either, but I mean, he's when it comes to actual science stuff, he's pretty open about the fact that there's a lot of things I don't know.
Stephen Hawking. Is that the one?
I don't know. I mean, Hawking. I don't know. I actually don't know much of Hawking's writings, to be honest. Did you guys see that thing? I don't mean to derail this because that's actually. But apparently Stephen Hawking was mentioned in the Epstein papers. Anybody else hear that?
He might have been to the island.
Yeah, he was apparently on on Lolly Island with like Epstein and shit like that. Like just it's fucking weird. Like I
What
just
the fuck?
like.
I mean, I don't assume
it was-
anybody associated with Epstein is associated with the sex trafficking.
Well, yeah, it's just weird that like just the possibility that he could have been is just beyond weird to me.
I don't.
Like he didn't even have like apparently he had a working dick though according to like the there was somebody did a whole YouTube video breaking
YouTube,
down.
please let me keep my stream. I'm not responsible for my
No,
guests.
literally,
or
and
co-host. This is
a
an
quote-
entertainment show only.
It was a quote from Stephen Hawking where he said that his voluntary muscles did not work, but his involuntary functions still worked fine. Which makes
You got
sense.
all of that from Epstein, from his name being connected to Epstein. That's where your mind took.
There was in the same video somebody like they pulled up a quote and I pulled it and I found it myself. I went because I didn't think it was real and I pulled it up and yes, Hawking did actually say that. So which the implication is that he still could have sex. So
Maybe he can.
weird. I mean, he's dead now, but
Oh, well, don't have to worry about it.
yeah, he was on the flight. He was on the flight plan as many times as Bill Clinton was. That's true. Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I mean, do subscribe for more. I mean, why wouldn't you really at this point? It's just good clean fun at this point.
We need fact checkers. That's our next upgrade.
Well, I'll find the quote. God damn it! If you don't believe that quote's real, I guess I gotta find it. I didn't get up out of nowhere. I don't know how I looked up the other day. I looked it up. Like I think at the time I looked up the actual words from the quote, but this time I'm gonna do something really stupid. I'm just gonna look up Stephen Hawking dick work ? And see what it says.
Well, in the meantime, we could talk about something else while we wait.
Yeah. Anyway, I might have to go anyway. I don't have time to do the on-stream research thing anyway. But got a bunch of people out there on the Stephen Hawking movie was pretty good, even though it was complete fiction. I didn't even know there was a Stephen Hawking movie. I saw the one about A Beautiful Mind, and I saw the one about the dude that the Enigma cracked the Enigma machine. Yeah, John Nash, and like the one about the Enigma machine thing. But I don't think I saw the Stephen Hawking movie. I didn't know that was a thing. Sad trombone and Dean Reddington. Well, somebody else needs to come here on the stream. Hi, Dave. Why don't you come to the stream because I'm about to leave. So
we can wrap up. Don't make me none. Are you streaming tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll have
the usual time, 2:00.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Be there with the BB. I'll also have Juniper with me. So.
Yay. I'm excited now.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll be back tomorrow at the usual time, 2 p.m. Central. Chris, travel safely. Mitch, you too. Yep. Keep safe.
Thanks for having me. Yep, I'll see you soon.
Okay, take care.
No problem, man. Have a good night.
And you too.
Yep. See you guys
coming
later.
to BK's.
Are you guys coming?
Oh, that's tonight. Yeah, tonight is Verbal Combat. Easy speakeasy.
Oh.
Let me put the link. I'm not sure. It kind of depends on how the day goes. I can't.
Yeah, I don't know.
I may show up.
Jeff's still out there panel walking, but I've been really burnt out on streams besides our own here lately. But I'll try to show up if I can. I don't know. I probably won't be able to though. I mean, I'll be spending time with family. So, but maybe.
Here's the link for Verbal Combat, everyone.
How about it? The black hole and a rusty trombone back tomorrow. Okay. Good old Gary.
Yeah, I might stop by. I'll peek in and check the panel out and see if I feel like
I might. If I do stop, if I do, it won't be for I won't be staying to try to win Verbal Combat or anything. But still. All right, guys. Good night.
All right. Well, maybe we'll see some of you tonight at Verbal Combat if
Maybe so.
if we're there. If not,
I mean,
we'll be back
I won't
tomorrow.
even. We won't even be in Texarkana till like 8:30. It's like a 5.5-hour train ride. It's a 3.5. It's 3.5 hours by any other means of transportation, but for some reason, train takes 2 hours longer. I don't know why. It's ridiculous. But,
Yeah, you too, Gary. Thanks, Reddington.
yeah.
Dave,
Thank you
Patty.
Thank you to all our lovely viewers out in the chat room.
Somewhere in Time. Our poll. Difficult Dennison. I like some of what you said today.
Yeah, seriously, I would like to have you come
You
on
seem
the panel and
sensible
talk to them.
so far.
Anyway.
All right, we're gonna cut out, and we'll see you later today on some random stream or tomorrow on our stream.
Bye.